everyone, it's Deja from Knit and Crochet Ever After, and today I am reviewing something that I've been wanting to review for a few weeks now, ever since I saw it on Instagram, and that is the Ogo Yarn. So you may have seen this on Instagram or Facebook or an ad. It's by Yarnspiration, and it does come in, this is Karen. I've seen it in Bernat. I want to say there's some other brands too, but don't quote me on that. But I know for sure they have this in Bernat and some Karen compilations. So it's not in every single kind of brand that Karen carries or Bernat carries. It's kind of like special edition. And when I saw it, I was like really intrigued because I don't know how this is going to work. It was really interesting, and I'll get into, if you've seen it, it basically is in a big kind of donut, and I'm going to take this apart in a little bit to show you. And then you're supposed to be able to just cut the edge and work really easy rather than getting yarn barf trying to get out, the yarn from your skein. So I did purchase these myself, and I did so that I could be totally honest, because right off the bat there were a couple things that I was like, I don't know if that's gonna work right or not. So I wanted to buy it myself so I could be totally honest and be like, oh, it's so great, it's just so easy to pull, and instead you're pulling and like clumps are coming off and you're getting even more tangled. So I wanted to be real. So I bought these myself at Joann. They were about $7 on sale for this one. This is a bulky yarn, 220 yards each. They had a Bernat blanket there as well, which was on sale for $10 each for 220 yards. So that would have been really expensive to do a blanket, and I don't really like Bernat blanket for anything else. It's just a little hard to work with. So I thought the price point was kind of high. Like I feel I should have looked, but I'm pretty sure that you can get like a skein of Bernat blanket for $10 and probably get double that amount. So I don't know if it's just because it's in the donut shape that it cost more. So price point's a little high for me. Hopefully that'll, because it's new, it'll start coming down. This does say patent pending, so this could be the new thing if people really like it. So I gotta give it a chance. We'll see how it goes. One other thing that I was not a fan of was the packaging. I like the packaging, but I don't like how much cardboard it uses, and the stores have no idea how to merchandise it. I got this at Joann's, and they were just shoved on the shelf like this, like regular yarn, when obviously there's a flat bottom so that you can stand it up and, probably put rows of the same color. It was just all thrown in, mix match, you had to search for colors. So maybe they need to train the stores on how to merchandise this. I don't know, but it's a lot of cardboard, so I feel like it could, there's not a whole lot that I can picture, like putting stuff around this like a skein and having it lay out because it's a donut. I don't know if it's gonna, because the end of it I think is made so it's easy to find, and if it's not wrapped up like this, it probably will get unraveled. I don't know, one of those things. I'm not a packaging engineer, which is an actual major. I worked with somebody that was a packaging engineer. Very interesting. So this has big holes in it. I don't get the hole in the hole. Big hole, little hole. I don't know what that's for. To hang it, hold it, carry it around the store like a 6-pack. I don't know what those are for. This says it can make one of these beanies. There's a QR code to get free patterns, which I'm sure that's where it's at, because it just kind of says like knit hat on the go. So you probably have to go look it up to find the pattern. One other thing that I don't like, and it's nothing to do with this, what this is, it's just the actual colors. I wanted to get one that had different colors in it. I just wish, I'm not a fan when the colors are hard changes. I like it better when it's ombre and it kind of leads to the next color. It's just more visually appealing. These hard color changes I'm not a fan of, but that's not a huge deal. Let's pull this cardboard off and see what it looks like. So to get this off, okay, so it looks like there's little tabs, boop, boop, and then we pull down. Oh, we got some glue, or some hard glue. Ooh, okay, double-sided tape in there. Ooh, that's very sticky. Careful with that. Put that over the top, and then it's kind of to kind of wedge in there. Oh, there's our end. Cool. And we can see it's kind of skinnier there, so that's probably where we cut it. And there are instructions here. So it looks like, to begin with, we pull it apart. There's a plastic tie in there that we cut and pull out, and then we pull the yarn from there. And it says you can, like the color changes, you could pull them apart and cut them at the color changes if you wanted to use each color separately. So that's handy. So it looks like right there is where it would be. And there's our plastic tie. And it actually looks like where like a price tag, like a garment price tag kind of plastic tie. So maybe that's what the yarn is wrapped around totally, to begin with. And the rest of it is just all yarn. Interesting. But I'm gonna go get closer to cut this so that we can see exactly what happens when we start working with it, because I'm picturing like I start working and just clumps of it are coming off at a time. So, or I don't know. I just want to see what happens. So let's go try it. I've got nothing to lose. Come on. Okay, so here we have the Ogo in its O form, and you can get the close-up of the little tag that is holding it all together. We have an end that's sticking out here. I don't see, no, actually you can see the end right there for that side. So it looks like you could work it from either way. So let's cut into this guy and see what happens. So it turns into a worm instead of an O, and then it kind of shut inside. So pulls out easy, so that's nice. It's just one big kind of thing. And I'm still wondering what the inside, if there is an inside. So I might kind of pull this apart, but I want to see how easy it is to start working off of this. So I don't know which one they want us to grab from. I'm going to grab from this side because this is kind of wrapped in. So I'm thinking that we're supposed to grab from this middle spot, and it is pulling very easy. So it's kind of like a center pull ball. And I was going to crochet for a little bit, but I don't think the crocheting really matters. What I'm wondering about, because what I was picturing was that it was wrapped around the outside. So, when you pull out like your yarn barf and then you wrap it around the outside, and then when you start pulling it to work, you usually get like a whole chunk of it coming off, and then you get the actual, you get a big old tangle anyways. So the fact that this is a center pull, I think that's good. I wouldn't pull from this side because then you probably have that going on. It feels like it's getting thinner, and it's pulling easily, so that's good. I'm not going to work with the yarn because it's yarn that, it's the normal yarn. It's the same yarn that they sell in the Skein, so it's not like I need to review what the actual yarn is like. This is all about the way that this thing is put together. So I'm really curious about how it said that you could, separate the colors and use it kind of as a color project. So I kind of want to pull on this just to see what happens and see what's in the inside. So it looks like it's kind of reaching into this other color. So I'm just gonna keep pulling. And it looks like it's kind of pulling easily, like it kind of knows like, hey, I'm my own color. Let me come out here. So let's see how this is joined. Oh, okay. So this, ooh, yeah, you kind of get that. So it probably, because I pulled this out, it's kind of falling apart right here. I'll pull it a little bit in just a second, but I want to show you the join. So it looks like it's a single strand of yarn, and the dye changes. Like I don't see a visible join. I don't see like a Russian join or anything like that. It's just one continuous piece of yarn that goes from the dark to the pretty blue. So I want to pull on this and see if this is going to keep on being a problem, or if it kind of works itself out the way that the dark gray worked out. I think just because of how this was made, and it looks like that's the center, like that it's just wrapped upon itself, so that's how that's working out. So if I just kind of keep on pulling, I think it's gonna do the same thing as the dark gray. So that I like. I'm a fan of how this is working, because it's not, you know, clumping out, it's not becoming a problem. It's still like a little loose here from where this pulled out, so but eventually this would have pulled out anyways, so I'm kind of wanting to get to the next color just to see what happens. Let's pull this really fast. I'm gonna have lots of fun rewinding this when I want to use it, because I will make something out of it. Okay, it's, you know, it's not pulling off into those big chunks that get tangled, so I definitely like that. So, you know, kudos to the design team on whoever came up with this very interesting option. Let's I think we get the point. I think it works well. It's starting to get squishy down here, so it's pulling out, it's not tangling, it's working easily. Let's talk a little bit more about what I think of this. So as far as portability goes, I think that it may be a little difficult. I'm concerned kind of like with how this ends up being over here. You stick it in your bag and it will just start kind of unraveling on you. It would be interesting to see if they make some kind of like special Ogo project bag, you know, like a big U or something. You could even like design one, just like a big old U that you can stick this in so that it's not having that problem. As far as storing it goes, it's pretty flat, and because it's like this kind of noodle shape, you could probably like lay it, you know, flatten it out and kind of stack your skeins or ogos, whatever you're going to call these. I think it stores better actually like as a log rather than the O, unless you have tall shelves where you want to show off your Ogo and then you stand it up in that cardboard container. But it's kind of like it doesn't fall apart too much when you're just holding it. You can see like it's kind of drooping over here when, let me kind of come back here a little bit. So it's kind of got the droopy, and I'm sure if I shake it enough it'll start falling apart, but it's holding up, you know, pretty well for the rest of it that's not been used yet. So it's, you know, it's got some positives, but a little bit of negative, you know, with that extra cardboard, the price is a little higher. They do, or the company Yarn Inspirations did create over 100 patterns specifically for this yarn and all the different variations of it on their website. They're all free patterns, so that's a really awesome thing for them to do. You know, again, this is not a different kind of yarn, so you can still get this yarn as a skein or its regular format with, you know, the price is a little bit lower, so that's something to consider as well. So I'm sure the marketing and packaging and everything is kind of what might have made the price on this a little bit higher, but it's nothing too bad, especially if you got your Joann's coupon. But it's a really interesting concept, and I'm really excited to see if it's going to take off. I would love to hear what you guys think about this, if you've tried it, or just looking at this, like what you think, you know, could go wrong, or if you're excited to try it, because it looks like it would be really easy to start your projects and keep them going and without having to worry about all those tangles that you usually get in your skeins. So let me know below if you want to see more reviews, like and subscribe, and thank you all for watching.